Hello, everyone, and welcome to another great podcast where I bring people to you from different backgrounds and nationalities and expertise to listen and learn from. Today, especially, I am very excited because I have an amazing guest for you. Her name is Melanie Spring. Melanie, she's the Chief Visionary of Confidancia. She's also a brand strategist, international keynote speaker, and approachable badass. She has the ability to take your brand to the next level when you needed it. She also loves adventure. Melanie once traveled over 7,000 miles in 3 weeks on the Leave Your Brand tour to find out what actually makes great brands work. Her final answer? The humans. Humans are at the center of every success, and their stories are as important as the brand stories. Over the years, Melanie has helped tens of thousands of humans find their voices and own the confidence from stages around the world. She has the ability to create a safe place for humans who want to make change, matched only by her deep commitment to doing so. When Melanie is not working, she and her husband, who also happens to be her marketing strategist, are traveling the world visiting friends, chasing sunrises, and checking out new cities with their fluffy, cute white dog, Griffin. Welcome to the show, Melanie. And, I tell you a story, very short story that happened to me that, when I start, I used to be a consultant, customer service management consultant for the corporation. And I got my first big speaking gig at University of Texas for like 500 people, all project managers. And I just got a panic. And I called one of my friends. I said, hey, I got to go on the stage. And he said, I got a suggestion for you. This is what you got to do. I said, what? And he said, you got to go get an accent coach. I said, what? And he said, go get an accent coach because I speak 5 languages. English is my 5th language. And then he gave me a name of this lady in LA, and she's very famous. It was many years ago. And then I called her up and I said, ma'am, this is who I am. And I'm getting this speaking. And, I do have an accent, and my friend says I should call you because sometimes people might not understand me. And, that might be a little bit problem. And she said, why are you going to do this? I said, I just want to be a better speaker. And she said, let me tell you what I do. I train people to be somebody else. I coach actor, actresses to go and play that role, to be somebody else. Right. What you have to do, you got to be you. You got to be yourself. And that actually people, they will remember you. And I would, first of all, I would not train you and coach you because I will damage you. She was so honest. She was so sweet.
That's beautiful. It's a gift.
And I know. And then what we did, I went over there and I was myself. And now until today, they all know me as, the guy with the accent. They never forget. My name.
The fact that English is your 5th language and you speak it better than most people who it's their first and only language. Keep the accent. Enjoy that. It's beautiful.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. But before I get to your stories, I have this question that it comes up a lot. We all know what we do, right? Mm-hmm. We all know how we do it. I know what I do. I know how we do it. The last part that we all missing, that I get to these people and I talk to them, is it the drive? Is it the passion? Is it what they're going after? What is it that will complete that equation or make it balance? How you define that?
The thing that makes everything make sense. It ends up being purpose. I mean, it ends up being that thing inside of you. I call it your fire. So it's the fire inside of you that's showing up and saying, this is the thing you have to do. And some people have a spark. Some people are in a dark tunnel. Some people are bonfires and dumpster fires. I mean, all sorts of fires. But The people who are really truly on doing the work they need to be doing, they're the ones who are lighting the way for other people.
If you don't know where you're going, what is your purpose, and whatever you do and how you do it is not going to work.
No.
How did you find yourself? It took you 20 years.
It did. And
you're still going.
Like,
no, really.
I don't think so.
How you really find yourself, and what was your calling to be a brand strategist, to help other people to find their voice. How did you find your passion?
Well, I mean, if I go all the way back to just being a kid and being my most innate self, I wanted to be a teacher so badly. Like, I met my teachers and was like, this is the coolest job ever. The fact that you get to help other people learn something, that's so amazing. I wanted to be a music teacher and then an English teacher. But then I got to college and I met my English teachers and I was like, oh, I don't want to be you. Like, please don't make me read those books every single year and talk about them. No, thank you. So what I ended up doing is I took all of my English skills, all of my English and grammar and everything that I learned in my English classes, and I got a communications degree. So I helped with organizational communications. And once I started doing websites, I mean, this was the 90s. So I picked up website design when I was 15.
Wow.
And started playing with websites. And like when the internet was a baby and, nobody really, the clouds were backgrounds, like that kind of thing. And so I just really loved building things for people and creating things for people and writing. I love to write. So over time, I became the college webmaster for the school that I went to. I got a degree in organizational communication. And then I went into marketing and advertising and recruiting and all different kinds. Like, I wanted to see all the facets of what branding actually meant. And so when I opened my agency, when the market crashed in 2008, I was able to just take off as the brand strategist that I had been becoming, and then built that for the next 8 years.
What was your biggest challenge when you were dealing with people? Because, it's this very sensitive subject to tell somebody that that's not your brand. Okay, back up. And what you do is not going to work. And some people, trust me, I was reading about your retreat, and you really have to be qualified, be on that retreat, because if you can't take a heat, get out of the kitchen.
Exactly. Yeah.
As simple as that. If Melanie comes and tell me that, hey, Ramin, this is what you got to do. You got to wait. And if I can take it and I think I know it all, then I shouldn't be there.
No,
it's not going to work. That's right. What I'm sure you went through a lot of that challenges with the other people, that you have to tell them, stop.
Well, that's the hardest part is when I was 20, I was only like 28 when I started my business. So, and I had long hair. I looked like I was 18. I actually got asked at a networking event if I was a college kid doing a paper.
Oh, you got your hair cut.
Yeah, I cut my hair shortly after that. I think I cut it when
beautiful.
I was 32. Thank you.
I love your haircut. I always comment. I show it to so many my ladies friends, like friends that we are friends. Say, hey, this is a haircut, man. This is a haircut. It's so cool. But going back to that, is drive, I think, is very important. You can't help anybody if you don't have drive, even for their personal branding. I am still looking for my personal brand. I think you and I, we have so much in common as I was reading it, because I believe everyone has a story. And my job is to tell those stories. And a lot of stories is untold stories from ordinary people that we can learn from. Like I was talking to Simon Sinek a long time ago, like a couple of years ago. We were at the same event. And, he said, yeah, Ramin, there's a lot of stories, out there that we don't know about. Right. And, my mission right now, actually, I'm kind of shifting my talking, that I'm going to interview people that they're not famous, but they got the stories that we can all learn from. Okay, the famous people, that's okay. I told Louis Howell that I'm going to interview Louis Howell very soon. And I said, Louis, this is going to be good. We know each other. But I have a lot of other people that the guy might be a physician, might be a nurse. Maybe there's a story that changed her life and nobody knows about it because people, they don't want to talk about it. But we all can learn from that. And I think I'm still looking for, as we speak, for how I'm going to tweak not tweaking to make my personal brand better, but it's a everyday thing. Is really every day. And 2 years ago, like, I decided that I want to be who I want to be, and I'm sure a lot of listeners, they should ask themselves that who they want to be.
Yeah,
this is so important.
The question I like to ask people is, who do you need to become to live the life you desire? And most of that starts with, what kind of life do I actually want? Do I want the one that I have right now? Am I okay with this? Or do I want to go bigger? Do I want to be different? Do I want to shift that? And who do I need to become to live that life? Because most of us look at social media and think, oh, they're so cool. I wish I could have that. I wish I could have that life. I wish I could be them. I wish I had that many followers, or whatever the thing is that we're looking at. But at the same time, who would you need to become in order for that to happen? Most people don't think to ask that question. They think, I just want that. And it's like, well, you can have it. There's plenty to go around. There's an infinite number of possibilities. So what would you like to have? And who do you need to become to have it?
And just work toward that. And, because nothing is going to happen if you're not going to work, toward it. But what is your story about Bali? You went
Bali.
You went to India? You were in India?
Yeah. Well, yeah. I went to, it's Indonesia, but yes. Like,
what is that a story about?
I had just broken up with my boyfriend, and I was miserable in my business. My business, like I said earlier, was a dumpster fire, and it was very successful. I loved doing the work I needed, but every time I woke up, I would have like a, who's mad at me today kind of feeling.
Whoa.
Because, I wasn't attracting the people I really wanted to work with. And I knew that the only way to get rid of it is to burn it down. So I was like, all right, I'm going to go on this trip that a friend of mine told me about. I had broken up with my recent boyfriend, who I thought I was going to marry. And I went to Bali, found out that my team quit working while I was gone. So for 2 weeks I was gone. They didn't do anything. And I got home from that trip, and I had manifested like, okay, this is the vision for the life that I want. Who do I need to become to live the life that I want? And within just a month of getting home, I had let my whole team go. I quit my business, like closed my business down. I had made a decision to become an international keynote speaker. I didn't know I could do that full time, but that's what I decided I wanted to do. And then 3 months later, I met my future husband, who I ended up moving just within 8 months of having that vision. I ended up moving from DC to Denver to live with him. And now we're married. So.
And he's 11 years younger than you.
He is, yes.
Hey, man, good for you. And
I know.
And he's very handsome. Tell him that, because I see your picture, guys. You guys, you are good together. It's just amazing. But when you came back from Bali, and then you said that you're gonna demolish everything and you're gonna start all over again, and that was your vision. Do you think people should sometimes do that and just say, okay, it's done, over, just let's destroy it and let's start all over again, because this is not working?
It depends. I actually think, based on this most recent evolution I've had over the last year and a half, I actually now help people not do that, what I did. Because usually people who come to me are like, oh, so I kind of want to burn my business down. And I'm like, okay, let's talk about why. And let's look at how we can reshape this. And all of my clients now are the types of people who would be similar to me and go, you know what, just burn it down and start over again. It's fine. But I can help them now because I see what I wish I had seen back then now, and I can help them shift it into building the business they actually love, or having the career they really love without having to burn the whole thing down. So I'm basically going back and helping myself through my clients.
Yeah, I do that all the time. Believe it or not, sometimes when I talk to friends or I mentor people or I talk to them, I help myself more than I help them. And I always tell them that, guys, I get the energy from you that makes me keep going.
Yeah.
And that's what I get the juice. I get the energy. And opposite that is, I can't stand negative people. Like, I can. One of the things that really will destroy me, I think you too as well, is just hang around with the negative people. Hang around with the people that they not believe in what you believe, and they are not happy for you. Like
Right.
is like a worse than COVID-19. It's just, it just is a disease, man.
It is.
It's just, I have a severe allergy to negative people. It's
Well,
just,
there's a big way to be able to shift that too. That's something I'm actually working on right now, is talking about what it looks like to fully shift out of that space and not have to be around those people anymore, to not spend that time with them. Like anytime I'm around someone who's negative, I make a decision like, oh, now I have a new boundary. You don't get to come in here and play. So when you just said, and I would love to share this way of being with you because I think it might help, is this idea of someone sucking my energy dry. As an introvert,
yes,
it's really easy for people to do that. And as someone who is like really giving and I want to help everybody and take care of everybody, I've noticed that the more that I put up this, it's just a soft boundary, but it allows me to filter who I want to allow into my energy field. So this is the practice that I have for this. Do you mind if I share this with you?
Oh, no, absolutely. I love it.
Okay. So I think of it as a garden. So, you have this beautiful garden, you have a gate around your garden, and it has like the little door on the garden. This garden is yours. You get to plant whatever you want into it. It can be negative, it can be positive, it can be whatever you decide, but it's yours to like, I'm going to water all of the beautiful flowers. I'm going to rip out all the weeds, but there's always stuff growing. So you have to like make sure that you're always tending to it. And so if your neighbor comes around and stands on the other side of the fence and says, oh my gosh, I have some flowers for you. They're beautiful. And you look at them and they are beautiful, but they're not going to go in your garden. You can say, well, that's so nice of you, but I'm not interested in your flowers. Or if someone comes over with a whole bunch of weeds and is like, I'm just so mad today, I'm going to throw all my weeds in your garden. You can like throw up this force field that doesn't allow them to let those weeds come in. So you can make sure that you're always tending to your garden, that you only allow the things in that you want, good or bad. Like if it's negative or positive, you're the only one who's allowed to plant things in your garden. So it's not just about getting rid of the negative people, but it's also about like when someone says, oh my gosh, you're so amazing. You can be like, thank you so much for saying that. But you don't want it to like go all the way in, because if it goes all the way in, then you're like, ooh, oh, but all the bad stuff can come in too. If they're like, oh, I hate you so much, you're like, oh, that's in there too. So being careful to like allow your energy to say, this is my energy field, this is my garden, and only I can plant what I want in it.
And then basically you still can keep your distance too.
Exactly. Because if you have the fence, you can go outside of the fence and talk to other people, hang out next to their garden, but you don't have to.
This is a great analogy. I really like it. I'm going to start talking to people about that and say, Melanie said this. It's amazing, really. It's amazing. But, I have a couple of people, they asking me, and I'm not a personal brand strategist, but we have a client that she knows what she's doing and how she's doing, and she wants to make her personal brand. What people should do at first in order to even thinking about, I'm going to build my personal brand. What is the first thing you tell people as this is your homework, go do this, and then come back and talk to me?
It's two things. It's kind of like what we were talking about the word, the phrase that you would ask all of your friends. The phrase is, what 3 to 5 words describe me best? And what you're doing is you're making sure also, like now that you know the garden analogy, you're making sure that you're not planting those all in your garden, because some of them might not fit into your garden. So whether they're good or bad, and most people will say really nice things about you, but they might not also be the things you want. So if someone says, oh, you know what, you're really hardworking and you're really like a go-getter and you really push hard and like you're a hustler, and you're sitting there going, I think I maybe needed to meditate more and like maybe not push so hard and think about how can I protect my energy better instead of going. So some of them sound really nice and maybe they think they're positive, but they don't necessarily all have to stick. And so the second step of this is looking at the 4 areas of your life: in your work, in your personal life at home, with your friends, and out in public. So I tried to tell people, if you're thinking about Vegas, let's not think about Vegas. You're just a different person in Vegas. That's fine. But if you can look at the 4 different areas and just think, who am I at work? Am I the same at home? Would I say the same things? It doesn't have to be like, oh, but I wouldn't wear yoga pants at work. Okay. You don't have to wear the same clothes, but is it the same style? Would you say the same things to your boss or your significant other? Probably not. But would you say it in your way, with your filter, the way that you would say it? It's about really making sure that all of it is congruent. So if someone happens to meet you at the grocery store, and they're like, oh my gosh, they're like standing in line with you for a while, and they're like, hey, what do you do? And you tell them, and they come to your office and meet you. Are they going to be meeting the same person? Or is it going to be completely different? Like you're screaming at your kids in the grocery store and you're like mad about something and you like would say terrible things, but you would never do that at work. How can you make sure that all 4 of those areas are in sync?
Yep, you are right, because I am, I'm dealing with a couple of people right now that, as I told you before, I'm trying to tell them that if you want to grow your personal brand, the first thing is you said you got to know what is your garden, what you're going to plant, who you are. Are you good? Are you going to be a great gardener? That's the thing. Yeah, I'm serious. If you're gonna half-ass gardener, you're not gonna do anything, Right. And you let your gate open, as you said, and everybody comes over there. You go by what other people thinking about your garden, because I know people right now, they are millionaires that I know them, but their garden is so open and they are moving the flowers based on what other people they want them to do, and they expect the miracle to be the best person, and I'm famous, I'm good, but dude, it's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. If you go buy a fake followers and you it's not gonna work. It's not you, and you gotta close that gate. You gotta think about it. What am I gonna plant? Who I'm gonna be? What kind of flower? What kind of dirt? What kind of soil? Everything. How often I'm gonna water that? How often I'm gonna sit down even and look at my garden?
How often I'm going to weed it, what I actually do want to keep growing.
Yeah, this is, I think this is a problem with a lot of entrepreneurs right now. With a lot of entrepreneurs.
I totally agree.
And they want everything instant gratification. Like they want everything right now, and they want to have the best looking garden, and not going to happen. It's not going to. I'm sure you deal with a lot of entrepreneurs too.
I do. I work with, I call them business leaders, but so like I work with C-suite executives and VPs along with entrepreneurs, because they're all the same, just in different areas.
Let's, another question that I have for you. I'm really fascinated by your retreat. It is like, is it for C-suite executive? Is for the people, entrepreneurs, like even the person that wants to find his or her why or personal brand? How that works? What's happening there?
Well, it's called the Brilliant Rebels Retreat because it's specifically for people who are searching for the how. They understand a little of their why, but they might not know all of it. They understand a little of the what they want to do, like the C-suite executives. We have a couple CEOs, we have some entrepreneurs, we have a hairstylist who became a coach and is like, I don't know how to charge. I'm like, you've been doing personal coaching for 20 years just behind a chair while you're doing their hair. Now you don't have to do their hair while you're doing it. Why wouldn't you charge more? And so being able to see your worth, understand what's the thing that nobody's thought of before that I get to create for myself, whether it is from my CEO space or in my own business. What would I like to create for my team or our clients or the industry I'm in or the space that I live in? And what happens after I retire? Do I just want to like go golfing? Probably not. If you're super driven, you'll probably want to do something. So how can I share my story after? How do I build my personal brand so that when I'm done and I retire, I'm not just going, oh, now I have to get started. Now I have to help people understand me, not just the business. So the retreat is really 4 days of having a community around you of the same level people, which never happens. I mean, if you think about it, most C-suite executives are competing with other C-suite executives. They're not sharing their innermost secrets or worries. Yeah. All of them are sitting there going, yeah, I'm feeling alone too. You really? Like, I didn't know I wasn't the only one. You mean you're dealing with this? You have imposter syndrome? You're worried about what your board thinks of you? And then there are entrepreneurs who are like, yeah, me too, because I'm alone in my industry. I can't talk to my colleagues or competitors. I have to do it on my own. How do I do that? So I've created the community. So people come for the transformation to grow into who they are, and they stay for the community. So they're not alone anymore.
That would be good. Actually, I think that's kind of very tight, like a, interaction and get to know each other and have fun. And, because as I said, we all can learn from each other. And I believe everything happens for the reason. I don't know you believe or not.
I always believe that.
Because every person that you meet on the street, work, podcast, anything, that God put that person in your life for a reason.
Amen.
Good or bad. Good
100%.
or bad. Like you get divorced, it was for a reason. I got divorced too. You know, you go through a hardship, that's for a reason. Learn from it. You meet these people that screw you in the business, it was for a reason.
Well,
And
but the biggest reason most people don't realize that it's for is not for you. It's not for you to keep that to yourself. It's for you to share it with others to help them understand that they're not alone.
that's the key. That's the key that I don't understand why some people holding those feelings, emotions inside and not sharing with other people.
Yeah.
I don't know what is that. And is it because of the fear? You know, they are vulnerable, or they think that, okay, if I share it, it shows that I'm a weak person. And, you know, I don't know. I'm trying to get out of that people. Like, I know some people that they have an amazing fall down, like, you know, as far as, you know, and then a lot of stuff that they can really, really help other people by just telling their stories, but
That's
not
it.
holding themselves
Exactly.
back. And I'm sure you faced that many times.
Yes, I'm actually working on my book, which will be coming out next May. So it's a lot of work to share your stories, and it's a lot of detail to do that.
Oh, you're writing a book?
I'm quietly writing a book.
I love, you know, I'm doing it too.
We'll do it together.
Yeah, I love it. And I don't talk about it that much, but, you know, because I can tell you, you know, one book that I'm writing, it's just about the model that I start creating, and I call it the CEO model, because I was dealing with a lot of salespeople, and I say, guys, this is not gonna work. Nobody is selling anymore. Nobody. Now I said, okay, what is a new model? I said CEO, which is C is stand for connect. I'm connecting with Melanie right now. Now we connect through podcasts and everything else. The second thing is educate, which is the E. I'm educating myself about Melanie. Who is Melanie? What is Melanie Juice about? What she loves and all that stuff. And I educate myself about you, and you educate yourself about me. We get to know each other. And the last thing would be offer. Melanie, I love to join your retreat. And you know, and before people were doing, hey, I got this pen, my pen is better than the competitor, would you like to buy it? And you would ask who the hell are you? I don't even know you. You know, this is the people they forget. And I applied this model to a business networking, to like family, friends, business. I tested it, and it freaking works.
Yeah.
And if you can't connect with that people, they're not the right person to begin with.
Exactly. They're the people who have to stay outside the gate.
You know, exactly. Just watch my flower and enjoy it.
Exactly.
You know? Enjoy it, but you can't touch it.
Nope. Not allowed. I am supposed to be on another call right now.
Okay.
I just realized it's too late.
No problem. I'm gonna just
I would love to talk to you again soon.
I know.
This is so fun. I could go on for hours with this.
I know. I just my audio engineering guys, they give me a Tom's, you know, she's got to go because in 25 minutes, they know that I say. But it was nice talking to you. I'm going to get a hold of Bree and talk about that, but I'll message you. But Melanie, once again, welcome to the show. I had so much fun, and I look forward to talking to you. And I love your haircut. And say hi to your amazing, handsome husband.
Thank you. I will. For sure.
He's cool. Thank you so much. You have a wonderful day, and I look forward to speaking with you.
Thank you.
Again.
You too. Bye.
Thank you, dear. Bye.